Hello everyone. Today we are going to see some topics of unit number 2, in which first a test team approach. What should be the approach of test team while doing the activity after the developer submit the software or product or application to test team. As we know that it's a fifth number a step in any or fourth number step in any software development life cycle, testing. What should be the test team approach? Here in this diagram you can see senior management having two types of inputs. First one is development team and test team. Senior management assigns the project to development team. Actually that development team works, creates the code, develop the code and launch the product. Product means software application. Test team is equally having the rights like development team. Over here in this diagram you can see when the senior management look towards both the teams having at equal position. Development team has to develop that project and test team have to test that project. Through this diagram we can see actual location of a test team in organization. Test team is independent. Test team is independent means development team having their independent core or independent members and test team having their independent core and independent member. Through this block diagram we can easily understand everywhere if the company is following the normal structure of the organizational behavior, then in that case the test team of that particular industry is different. Then next, test team reporting to development manager. This team also reports to the development manager and test team also reports to the development manager. Okay, through this block diagram please see it and just memorize the picture so becomes easy while writing the answer in answer sheet. Okay, the next is that developers becoming testers. Independent testing team, domain experts doing software testing. These 2, 3, 4 points are telling that developers can do the test, but testers become difficult to play the role of developers. Independent testing team that we have seen, domain experts doing software testing. Again, what is this? If if you are a development team and you are developing a project for a multinational brand who having the customers or the clients or the users from worldwide, in that case on each domain there is some specific code written by the development team. Over there domain experts are required and that domain experts only can do the software testing in that software product. The next, process problems faced by testing. Okay, then the next phase come. Which phase? What exactly the problems faced by the testing team or while doing the testing? Defects are due to incorrect process. When the defects occurs, when we follow the incorrect process. Again, when I am reading this sentence or line, it doesn't mean that by only the defects occurs by following incorrect process. There may be the different problems also are there There may be a different ways, there may be the different reasons because of the defects occurs. Then second, the basic constituents of processes are people, material, machines, method. These are the different constituents of processes which may also cause, or which may becomes the problems in the process, and which is faced by the testers during testing time. What is meant by people? People may be the testing people also, the who are doing the testing, because the approach of the tester, the way of the tester in which he is doing the testing, considerations by the testers, it also becomes the problem, because this comes under the process problem. Second, people means what? People means clients, people means users. Users may also create the problems in testing if user doesn't have any proper knowledge about that particular product. Then whatever the feedback is given by the users, if it having the wrong path or wrong direction, then in that case the testing phase goes into the problem. Okay, means many of the times we know that the new user, suppose if they are using any software, and because of lack of knowledge of how to use that software or what kind of actual requirements they want, the basic or core requirement, if they don't know how to handle that software, then these people can create the problems. Materials, right? Which type of hardware we are using to operate the particular software product, that also create the problems while testing. Have you understand? These are the important things that we have to take care while doing the testing. For example, if we are using a very low quality hardware while performing any medical operation through software, then in that case it will automatically create, or it will decrease the performance of the product, and that decrease in performance directly blames to the development, or directly blames to what kind of testing the tester did, right? Then the machines may also falls under the category of material, we can say, or hardware. If machines are low quality, means if we have used a low quality ICs over there, right, low quality material to build hardware part, then that also creates the problem. Then methods, last one is the method. What kind of method we are using to performing a task on particular software product. The execution process, if it is not on the right way or on the right path, then also creates the problem while in testing. So overall, people, material, machines, methods, which are the constituents of the process, which may also cause for the problem in testing. Then next point is that cost aspect of testing. Cost aspect of testing. We never think on such kinds of issue, how to measure the cost while doing the testing, because testing is also a technical job, and over there people works on so many hours to make the product very fine, accurate, efficient and effective before to hand over in the to customer. Here is this one example through which we can understand cost aspect of testing. Suppose that the project duration is 10 months. Suppose that the project duration is 10 months with 22 days of working per month. 8 hours working per day and 100 people are working on it. If conversion rate is 500 rupees per person hour, then cost of development and testing is calculated as too many values, too many variables are there included in testing, right? Means number one variable duration in month, duration in days, then duration in hours, then the total number of people who are included in testing, and the wealth or the cost or the price we are applying to that 100 people throughout the particular period. All these factors we have to apply on particular software product, then it will turn it out in very fine product. But how the cost is get calculated? C over year, total effort spent on project, that is N into D into H into P, NDHP. This NDHP are the variables. What exactly it means? C over year, where N is equal to project duration first month, D number of working days per month, H number of working hours per day, and P number of people working on project. When we multiply all these factors through this, we get total effort spent on project. Total efforts spent on project is in hours. How many hours the particular testing team spent on testing? Here N is equal to 10, it's 10 month, right? 10 month. Then 22 means what? Number of working days per month. Here in this example, testing team is working 22 hours, 22 days in a month. Then 8, what is 8? 8 is telling that 8 hours per day working is there, 8 hours per day working is there, and 100 people is there. When we multiply it, the output is telling that 1,76,000 hours. Means how many hours are required for a specific software application testing purpose? Here 1,76,000 hours. And finally total cost, because here the rate is given for per person hour, 500. So that's why we have to multiply this figure with 500. When we multiply it with by 500, then we get the total cost. Total cost is 8 crore 80 lakh. 8 crore 80 lakh means if a specific software application having such type of figures for the testing, then the total cost required for the testing that particular software application is 8 crore 80 lakhs. 8 crore 80 lakhs. This is how it is calculated. Keep in mind. Okay. Then assessment of cost of testing. How the assessment is done? Number one, type of application and cost of testing. The assessment is done by considering the type of application and cost. Then development and test methodology. What kind of development and test methodology is there is a part of assessment of cost of testing. Then domain and technological aspects. Domain and technological aspects. Then maturity of development and testing process. Maturity of development and testing processes. These are the four assessment of cost testing criteria which testing team takes into account while doing the testing, or management provides the attention over here while paying someone for the testing purpose, right? Means for example, I am giving example for only this point type of application. If the application is only for taking the values from the customer and showing it again, then this type of application doesn't need any kind of more technical knowledge. But if it is related with a scientific application, over there always calculations and the values always changes with respect to the input. Over there, by considering such complex applications, the testers also required knowledge about that, and management understand these things and pay something more for such kinds of testing. I have explained only one assessment criteria, so you can understand this criteria for the assessment to decide the cost of testing is important. Then cost prevention in testing. 2 points are there. Cost spent in criteria of verification and validation artifacts. Cost spent in training. These are the things which comes under cost prevention in testing. Have you understand? If some, consider this thing, if some projects or some softwares, if they do not require any kind of training for the testing, automatically it will save the money, right? Then next point, cost of appraisal in testing. To get the appraisal from the client, okay, now the product is okay, you can test it. So whatever the money spent to get the appraisal from different agencies, that also comes under the cost of testing. Then cost of failure in testing. Sometimes when we follow some particular path for the testing, and at specific mode, the testing team understands, oh, whatever we did up till now, it's completely in the wrong direction, and after that they start a new direction for the testing. So in previous, what kind of efforts they have made over there, that is considered as a failure in testing, and the cost required for that particular testing, it considers under cost of failure in testing. Through this slide, I want to tell you that these are the four things or four issues which directly impacts on cost aspects of testing. Okay. Then establishing testing policy. A software testing policy serves two purposes. First, it is the basis for defining what software tests will include in the test process. And second, it explains to outside parties such as organizational management, IT customers and users, as well as project personnel, the role and responsibilities of software testing. These two software testing policies is there. Criteria for testing policy, definition of testing, testing system, evaluation standards. Here is the one good quote is given: good testing does not just happen, it must be planned. And the testing policy should be cornerstone of that plan. Definition of testing, testing system, evaluation standards. What is testing definition? Determining the validity of the computer solution to business problem. What is testing system? Develop and execute test plan in accordance with departmental procedures and users requirement. Measurement of testing. Calculate the cost of correcting defects not discovered during testing. Last one, testing standards. Allow only one defect per 250 executable program statements. Keep in mind these things. Okay. What is this? This is nothing but criteria for testing policy, right? Which everyone have to follow. The next, method for establishing testing policy. I have to check whether it is part of. Okay. Methods for establishing testing policy are information service consensus policy, management directives, users meeting. Testing is an organizational responsibility. It is the recommendation of author that a user committee be convened to develop a testing policy. This meeting serves the following purposes. It permits all involved parties to participate in development of testing policy. It is an educational process where users understand the options and costs associated with testing. It clearly establishes for all involved departments that testing is an organizational responsibility and not just an IT responsibility. These things we have to care, or testing team have to care while deciding testing policy. Okay. This is all for this lecture. What we have seen in this lecture: first, testing approach, right? Then the cost aspects, then the criteria of the testing, and methods for establishing testing policy. These are the 4 points that we have discussed with the example how to calculate the cost required for any particular testing. With this, I am going to wind up this lecture. Thank you.